to you.
Awesome. Welcome.
Yes.
We have Dr. Felicia Phillips here with MolguCon, and she also has the business conference for to scale businesses.
Yes.
So tell me, I consider you a certified girl boss. So let me know, what does a certified girl boss mean to you?
So, when I think about a certified girl boss, I'm thinking about business women who really have their foundational elements in place. Because that is something we overlook because we're so passionate about our business. We want to jump right into it, but we don't think about the things that keep our doors open. And a lot of that has to do with the foundational elements, right? Making sure our books are in order, making sure we have the right processes in place, right insurances in place, and there's so many other things. And so when I think about a certified girl boss, I think about women who have their ducks in a row, right?
Yes.
And that they are business ready, whether that's corporate ready, government ready, B2C, business to consumer ready. They are ready to pull the trigger, and they don't have to get ready when the opportunity comes.
Awesome, that is so amazing. So tell us, what brings you to Memphis? I know that the big MolguCon platform is here. It's going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. So give us a little bit about what brought you here to Memphis, and share what you're doing with MolguCon.
Yes, so I'm being intentional this year. We're based in Atlanta, but the world is much bigger than Atlanta, even though we like to think it isn't. And I wanted to get outside of Atlanta and just meet business women, and to be more specific, Black business women in different areas of our country. And in a tour that we're going to be kicking off, we actually kicked off in Atlanta. I'm here in Memphis to host a Black Business Women's Roundtable. Really want to hear some of the challenges as well as the opportunities that Black women in the Memphis area are facing. Because it's in these conversations that we truly find out how we can help one another. Everybody's moving so fast, trying to find that next opportunity, that we've gotten away from the basics of being in business. And I know for me, that's relationships. Relationships is the real bag, if you will, right? I don't think I would be in business over 30 years had I not secured really powerful relationships that can make a difference in my business. I've gone through an economic downturn. You think about, we just went through a pandemic, and we saw 44% of Black businesses close their doors. And I can tell you specifically for me, what kept my doors open are the relationships that I value. And people don't take enough time to do that. We hide behind our smartphones and our computers, and we want to do everything online. And then, if you look at social media, it's all fun. It's beautiful settings, and everybody's having a good time. But when you look at the numbers, and I always say the numbers do not lie. The numbers tell us that we are struggling. We may be the fastest demographic group of individuals who are starting business, but we're not staying in business. And our counterparts are making about $144,000 a year, when we're making less than $50,000 a year. And that cannot continue. But if we're not talking, if we're consistently distracted by the noise, we can never begin to peel back the layers to really strengthen ourselves and build sustainable communities that leave an economic impact to those where we live, work, and serve. And that's really what this movement, it's not even a movement for me, it is for us as Black women. We have to really look at the value that we bring to the table. We're always, I feel like, in a constant state of waiting to be invited, or waiting for the opportunity, missing the fact that the opportunity lies within us. And that's what I'm most proud of with the community that I serve and have been serving for really more than 10 years. We have created an economic impact between each other, and I want that to spread, which is why I'm here in Memphis.
Oh, that is so amazing. And you brought me to an article that I was reading here in Memphis through our Black Business Association, where they talked about how 80% of the Black businesses were failing because of something that I spoke with you back in 2020 on, about being solo entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And we really don't have their side hustles.
That's right.
Right, and you said something profound. You said in order to have a small business, you have to have at least 9 employees.
That's right.
And so that was an eye opener because we think we, have this
Throw it around.
business.
Yeah. I'm a small business owner.
Yeah, I'm a small business
Mhm.
owner. And, and when you think about it now, it's an eye opener because, that's the reason why I'm probably not getting the funding or
That's right.
or the loans, that I need to scale. So, what would some of the nuggets of wisdom that you would say, not only to listeners, but to the city officials and how they can play a part in scaling? Because we have the platform, but no one really has mastered how to help scale.
So it's going to take really good partners and an open mindset, right? So let me tell you my take on that. We have got to get away from startups. Startups are the hardest businesses to sustain. We don't have a track record a lot of times. So we can have these cohorts and classes and development programs, but you have to ask yourself, why are we still struggling with it? Because some of it, honestly, is a distraction. You have to get out here and do the work, but you cannot do it alone. And a lot of us have put ourselves on an island by ourselves. No empire is built alone. It's going to take partners. So one of the things I started doing this year was reaching out to partners that can help Black and brown businesses with mergers and acquisitions. Let me tell you one of the challenges we're facing. We have a lot of successful Black businesses that have no succession plan. Their children don't want the business, and they're aging, so they can't keep the doors open, and they have to make a decision. If we develop a pipeline of Black businesses who we are educating on valuations, on what it means to take your skill set and acquire a business that you can run with, and be educated on how to get the funding. See, when you have a business that is a revenue producing, profit producing, has a pipeline of business development, right? You can get funding on something like that. Everything is not about color, it's about money. Money is the tool for wealth. And that's how we have to start thinking. So if I'm in a job that I'm saying, okay, you know what, I'm considering entrepreneurship, what I need to look at is, where could I take my skill set, right? Or as he used to say, I can take my Rolodex, right? The people I have relationships with, and marry that to an existing business that I can acquire their own business. So much value comes with that. Now I can hit the ground running. Because the thing about funding, and I want to talk about this, right now it's super sexy to say, I have an investor. I have a venture capitalist that's interested in investing in my business. But you have to look at, are you diluting the business? Meaning, when you start to talk about certifications, and so let's say you're certified, but you get this venture capitalist investor in your business, and they take so many shares, and they also take the right of your voting right away from the business. So now you're not in control of day-to-day operations. Guess what? Those contracts that you want to go after, they can't count you. You don't qualify for it because you diluted your position in the company. So you don't have control of the shares, you don't make the decisions in the company, so you're no longer qualified as Black-owned, woman-owned, diverse-owned business, right? So we have to be educating ourselves in totality. I have something that I'm planning for the spring to really help us build bankable businesses. And I'm talking to partners, we just partnered with a fintech company because we know that we're challenged with financials, right? We're challenged with money. And so when you're not brought up or educated on the way your financial statements need to be and how you go about that, you need help with that. This year at MolguCon, I am bringing in partners to specifically talk about mergers and acquisitions, to specifically talk about how to get your financial statements in order. When we go for certification, there are about 40 pieces of documentation that you have to give. How overwhelming is that as a new business? You're new to everything. Everything sounds like a foreign language, and now I'm asking you to give your firstborn, your right arm, and this is all new to you. What do? How do you go about that? And you need a place where you can go and say, you know what, this is what I want for my business. However, I am not sure. And then be exposed, because exposure is everything, right? When you can see it, you can have a plan as to how to ascertain it. And so when you have the plan, and that's the part where we come in, I'm big on strategy, you know that we've talked about that. Strategically understanding that if I do this now, this is going to propel me in my business. A lot of times we don't want to take the time on non-revenue activities. Right. But it is those non-revenue activities that I'm speaking of that will get you to that 7, 8, 9 figure business.
I love it. And you just made me think about when you were talking about skill set, you know, and as well as how we get those individuals kind of to the table. And you made me think about the space that we're in right now with registered apprenticeships. Registered apprenticeships is the way that I believe is the foundational element that will help catapult entrepreneurs. Done right, of course. So you have those, you know, those right leaders in place, those right facilitators, you know, who are those industry experts who are teaching and growing those individuals. Then you have like your universities and colleges who have business and development consultancy programs. So even with the guy that's grassroots, you will be able to at least leverage them to the positions in which you're talking.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on that?
So I think we have to meet people where they are. I am in a position where I understand that the conversation that I'm having is probably going to be for seasoned entrepreneurs, right? I'm not missed by the fact that a startup may get frustrated with someone like myself because they may feel like, oh my gosh, she's talking in a foreign language, right? But we need forward thinkers. We need advocacy. Because what's happening is the world's painting one picture of who we are as business owners. But what we know is something totally different because we're living in it, right? And so we have to have organizations and different types of programs, right? So as a small business owner, if I'm in a program that is taking time away from my business, there has to be an ROI for me.
Yes.
Okay? Because I see a lot of business owners getting in these cohorts, giving a lot of their proprietary information. Okay? That's a whole different conversation. All right? They are spending countless hours participating. Right? Are you going to introduce me to your partners or opportunities, even if those are subcontracting opportunities? Because here's the thing, everybody wants the prime. Everybody wants that tier 1 position, but you may not be ready for that. I know a lot of 7 and 8 figure businesses that play that tier 2 position and maybe even a tier 3 position really well, right? So you have to be honest with yourself as a business owner first about who you are, what your value is, because it's exciting to say, oh yes, I want to do government contracting. But I would not encourage you the first thing that you do is to try to become 8A. Because you don't know anybody, nobody knows you. Nobody knows your track record. So why not go subcontract for an existing 8A? Build your reputations. Let people get to know you, make some money, strengthen your business, strengthen your bottom line, and then when they graduate, you come into the program, right? So we have to stop dealing in these hypothetical or high and lofty situations. I want to be a millionaire, I want to be this. That's great. We want to keep ourselves lifted up. But but we gotta get down to the facts.
Yes.
Something has to change. So what I'd like to see is, if there is a program, a cohort, and we set a criteria for those businesses, and they say, yes, I'm going to commit, that there is some type of opportunity to make money. Be a part of that. Because my time is worth something. I am worth something. My business is worth something. I don't have, that time I give, I cannot get back. Right? So what do I have to show? Yeah, I learned a lot, but let's be truthful. You can find the information.
Oh, this is such a good story. Yes.
Right? Let's be truthful. I think a lot of times we talk in riddles, and that's why our people are stuck. We need opportunities. We have been mentored enough.
Yes.
We have been over, everybody has a program. Where are the opportunities? That's why I created MolguCon. I actually told someone, I literally want this to be a platform that if you come every year, you know you're gonna leave with some opportunity. It's a business development platform, right? I know when I come here, there's an ROI attached to my dollar.
Wow.
That's the conversation we need to be having.
That is so true. Oh, this is amazing. So I'm going to ask you, what made you choose Nashville for MolguCon this year?
Great question. So I've been doing it in Atlanta, right? For 7 years, very successfully. And last year there was a group from Mayor Cooper's office in Nashville that asked me to come to Nashville, that Tennessee needed something like this. And then I met with the governor's office of economic development, and this is what they wanted to see. And so, I'm an open-minded individual, and I believe that, one of the things about Atlanta is we have 50 different events on any given day, right, around small business. That's not so for the rest of the country. And I want to get out. I want to meet and provide opportunities to other areas that need it. And that's why I'm here.
Awesome. Well, we're going to end this right here. It was such a pleasure.
Listen, I'm
such
so
a
honored.
joy
Thank
having you here in Memphis and to hang out with us. Is there anything that you would like to say to the listeners that I may not have asked?
So what I will share is, hey, there's still time to attend MolguCon. If you're a Black-owned business in the area, come on out. Use the code Dr. Felicia, DrFelicia. I'm going to give you $300 off your ticket. Any pass that you choose, you can use that for.
Awesome.
I want to invest in you so you can invest in yourself.
Awesome. And that event is taking place November 2nd through the 5th.
Yes.
And in Nashville, Tennessee. And do you have the location?
At the Gaylord Opryland. We're there, hotel discount. Opryland is about $400 or $500 a night, but we were able to negotiate $289 a night. It's already on the site. And there are so many supporting hotels around there. You have the Inn at Opryland right across the street. The thing is, you can't go up if you don't show up.
That's it. I like that.
Right? So you gotta be in the building, and I'm inviting you to come out in the building. I wanna see you there, and I wanna see you really begin to build your pipeline for 2024.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again. It's
Thank
been
you.
a joy. Thank you, listeners.
Yes.
Remember, you are 2Unique.
Yes, thank you.
That's a wrap. Awesome.